I'm just setting up now. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? I'm just almost ready here. Can you hear me okay? Nobody's answering. Can you hear me okay? The sound should be okay. Okay, I'm going to check the chat room. If you're new to this live stream, my name is Robin Shaw. I'm a Canadian teacher and I'm living in Korea for about 20 years. And tonight I'm going to talk about Proverbs. So in the chat room, I see Layla, Carrie, you guys are always here. Kevin's here, subtitled movie clips. Summer, I can see you again. Arash is back. Arash is everywhere. And Okta's here, good. Nice to see you guys. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing? Oh, we have Keta Ket. Hi from Egypt. Hello, Keta. Nice to have you here. Teacher asked a question. How are you doing today? Somebody answer, please. Great to see you, Keta Ket. Kevin, subtitled movie clips. We are good as long as you're good. Okay, good grammar. Okta, I'm doing great. Well, Kevin, I'm always good. I'm a little bit busy, but every day I'm happy, especially when I come into the chat room here and I see people waiting for the lesson. All right, I'm going to get on with the topic. So I think more people are going to start joining. Anyway, welcome. It would be nice if you put your name and your country in the chat. If you're just watching and not doing the chat, that's going to be a big problem. You need to log in to YouTube to participate in the chat. And the chat is very important because I'm going to talk to people from the chat and people are going to ask questions from the chat. Hi, this is Dakshin. Good evening. Well, hello, Dakshin. Today I'm going to talk about Proverbs. The last couple weeks I've talked about slang, idioms, and now is Proverbs. So if you don't know about slang or idioms, watch my other videos. I think I explain slang and idioms very well. Tonight you're going to understand and know and use Proverbs. Hopefully I'm going to help you use Proverbs in your English. And I think most of you already know about how to use Proverbs because there are some very common Proverbs in English. And I think most of the Proverbs I talk about tonight, because I'm only talking about common Proverbs tonight, I think most of them you've already heard them, you already know them. So maybe I'm not teaching you anything new tonight, but hopefully you'll learn something from today's lesson. As most of you know, to contact me, there's lots of links below to join chat rooms and things like that where you can contact me every day. Some days I'm very busy and I don't spend much time there, and then other days I'm there all the time. And like all my live streams, I start off with an introduction. That is now. It allows people to start coming in. And then I'm going to get into the topic. And then after the topic, I will stay around and ask, or I'm not going to ask questions. You're going to ask English questions to me. And hopefully I can answer your English questions. So if you if you have some English questions or don't have English questions, you should prepare them for later, okay, after the topic. And Stanley's here. Hello, Stanley. Stanley, you're from Malaysia, right? I really like Malaysia. Seema, I like Proverbs. Well, good. Then this is a topic for you. What are Proverbs? All right. So Proverbs are different than slang, of course, and slang is new language. Proverbs are very old expressions, English expressions, and they're sentences that have some wisdom or truth in them. So when we say a proverb, we're trying to give some wisdom to someone or some truth. And you can see the second point, used to give advice. You want to give advice to someone, or you want to give some warning to someone. Maybe they're doing something wrong, and you're going to say a proverb to remind them that maybe what they're doing, they shouldn't be doing. And proverbs are usually metaphors. And what are metaphors? We're indirectly, so the proverb will talk about some situation, and it's actually talking about something else. Okay, so we'll go. I'm not going to go into metaphor too much, but when you see the proverb talking about some issue, the metaphor part means it's actually talking about something deeper, and we'll get into that. And to begin with, we're going to start with the most common proverb that English students are always using every day, and English teachers, practice makes perfect. Okay, I'm sure all of you have heard this. Maybe I've told you this one, but this is used by, people learning languages or sports or whatever you're learning. Everyone says practice makes perfect. And of course, we all know what that means. You keep practicing something so much, you will become perfect at it. So that's a very simple proverb, very, very common, as you know. And it's good advice. It's giving good advice to someone learning something. Practice makes perfect. It's very easy to say, easy to remember. And when you say it to someone, everyone understands the meaning of that proverb. Let's look at another one. Curiosity killed the cat. That is another very common proverb. What does that one mean? Can anyone tell me in the chat, what does that mean? Curiosity killed the cat? Let me know. What does that mean? Curiosity killed the cat. I'm waiting. I don't see any answers. Somebody put an answer. Andre, cat wants to know something. Again, it's a metaphor. It's not really talking about killing cats. Carrie, curiosity is sometimes dangerous. Yeah, that's more of what the proverb means. If Dakshina, if we are interested in something, it spoils others. Not quite. And Murad El Habuli, sorry if I don't pronounce your name correctly. Whenever you want to know something, being curious to know it, it probably lead you to something bad. That is more of what it means. Andre, and has been killed. Akta, sometimes knowing something too much is not good. Yep. And Summer, that's a very good, simple explanation. It means curiosity might get you in troubles. Might get you in trouble. Cat, when someone interests what other people do. Yeah, they're curious, but that's not the meaning of curiosity killed the cat. Do not let go, Leila. When someone be so curious, maybe that hurts them. Yeah. Seema, and we have Kunjan Rijal. Hello, I am from Nepal. Welcome to my live stream. I went to Nepal in the summer. Last summer, it was great. Yeah, okay, Andre, I get what you mean. All right, so most of you got curiosity killed the cat. Very common proverb. If you're very curious and you start looking or researching something that's none of your business, maybe you can have some harm. So if someone says curiosity killed the cat to you, they're trying to give some kind of warning to you. All right. So those are proverbs, usually advice or some warning. I have some more information. Proverbs are used a lot in books. Every book uses proverbs. They are informal. You don't really want to use those in formal situations like on an essay, or sometimes you can use them in essays depending on how you use them, but for the most part, stay away from them. Job interviews, you don't want to be using proverbs. So they're kind of informal, and they're used by adults more than children. Now, proverbs, slang is used by children more than adults, but proverbs means, the reason adults use proverbs, because proverbs takes a long time to learn them all. There's thousands of proverbs, so you have to learn them all, and children don't know them all. Also, adults tend to use them because they are giving advice and warnings more than children, right? The adults are usually telling the children about advice and warnings. Children don't give other people advice or warnings usually, so adults use them. And it takes a long time to master the right time to use the right proverb. Okay, it takes a long time to get that skill, to recognize a situation and to be able to think of the perfect proverb and throw it into that situation. I'm sorry, this lesson is not going to make you an expert on Proverbs. It takes a lifetime to be an expert on Proverbs, but it's good to start today. And at the bottom there, I have some other points. Proverbs are used to disagree indirectly. So if you're talking to someone and you don't agree with their philosophy or something, or their opinion, sometimes we use proverbs, because if you say to someone directly, I don't agree with you, they might get angry, but sometimes we use proverbs to give them wisdom or a warning, and it's kind of indirectly to tell that person, maybe think another way. And also the last point, used to give advice politely. So, let's go back to practice makes perfect. If someone is studying, you don't want to be direct and say, you need to study more. They might not feel good, so you just use a proverb there. Practice makes perfect, and it's kind of it's a good way to give advice. So this is what we use proverbs for. Okay. Oh, I see Thana arrived. And I'm sorry, I can't read Arabic, and we have someone with Arabic name. Is that Maya? Grace, I flew home. You're using an idiom, Grace. I flew home. You shouldn't use idioms in my proverb video. Than, oui, hello again. And Andre, we have the same meaning. Curious Barbara has cut off her nose at the bazaar. Okay, I'm going to ask you later about your proverbs, your own country proverbs. I'm going to ask you at the end. Okay, how can I understand Proverbs? If you've seen my slang or idiom videos, it's the same thing. Context and exposure. Context means you have to be in the situation that someone is using the proverb. If you're in the situation and someone uses a proverb, you can understand when to use the proverb and how to say the proverb. Exposure. You have to have a lot of English input. So you have to see a lot of proverbs or hear a lot of proverbs from English speakers or movies or books. You need a lot of exposure. Proverbs are difficult to master. Like I say, it takes a lifetime to understand when is the right time to say a specific proverb to help someone or give them a warning. I have a quick example there with another common proverb. And A asks, "Did you talk to the new girl in class?" And B says, "No, not yet. She looks selfish." And then A, perfect timing. Don't judge a book by its cover. Now, what does that mean? Don't judge a book by its cover. That's also one of the most common proverbs. Don't judge a book by its cover. How would you, Seema's fast. Don't judge a person by their name, not their name. What grammar mistake? Dakshina. Where's the grammar mistake? Carrie, don't judge by their appearance. Correct. Summer, correct. Grace, nope. Did you talk to the new girl in class? What's wrong with that, Dakshina? Did you speak to the... when I'm giving examples, these are spoken examples. So I have a website that I go to get spoken examples. So these are spoken examples, and native speakers will say that. You could say, "Did you speak to the new girl in class?" "Did you talk to the new girl in class?" Both are okay. Okay, so don't judge a good book by its cover. So the cover of the book, you're looking at the cover. Is it a good book? Is it a bad book? You have to judge it only by the appearance. Okay, so don't judge a book by its cover. The key word there is looks. She looks selfish. So B is looking at her, only the appearance, and judging her selfish. So A uses the perfect time. Don't judge a book by its cover. All right. So again, like the idioms and slang, don't study lists of proverbs. Context is essential. Don't buy a book of proverbs and just start studying all these proverbs because most of them you'll probably never hear or never use. Okay, there are some common ones. There's a good, probably there's, if you looked at the top 10 or top 20, maybe you should know those proverbs. But there's a lot that, every month I'm hearing new proverbs. They're very common in some region in the world, but I never heard them before. All right, and one of the points at the bottom, you know what they say. So sometimes when people are about to introduce a proverb, they use the expression, "You know what they say. Don't judge a book by its cover." You know what they say. Curiosity killed the cat. So sometimes people introduce that they're going to talk about a proverb, before they say it, using that expression. Not all the time, though. And of course, you need to read and watch English media. All right, I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, you shouldn't judge at all. That's right, Seema. Yeah, Stanley's right. All right, I'm going to move on. Problems with Proverbs. Problems with Proverbs. So number one, people don't say the whole proverb. I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Problem two, they're fixed form. And problem three, you can't change the words. So let's go on. So I have an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Another common proverb. What does that mean? An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Chat with your thumbs and tell me what that means if you're watching on your mobile. An apple a day keeps the doctor away. Okta is first. She's typing fast. Eat healthy food or fruits will prevent you from sick. That is correct. Eating an apple a day is good for your health, Grace. So eating fruits, vegetables, healthy food is good for your health. Not necessarily just an apple. It's not just talking about an apple. Eating vitamins will always make you in good health. Sarah Rose. Hello, Robin. Hello, Sarah Rose. Summer, eat apples or you'll be sick. Well, again, it's not just talking about apples. It's a metaphor for healthy food. Kind of keep healthy eating and then you're not going to be sick. So it's not necessarily talking about apples. Yeah, all of you are focused on the apple. It's not just the apple. Healthy food. Okay. So let's talk about the problems. Now, problem number one, people don't say the whole proverb because an apple a day keeps the doctor away is so common. Every native speaker knows this proverb. It is so common that a lot of native speakers with every proverb, they just say the beginning. An apple a day. They'll say it like that. And then the person listening knows the rest of the proverb. So it's very strange with Proverbs because people will introduce it with maybe half of the proverb and then the other person knows what they're talking about. So they might say, you know what they say, an apple a day, and then you have to know the whole proverb. So it can be difficult when you're learning Proverbs, when someone says a proverb, because they might not say the whole proverb. They expect you to already know the whole proverb. So it can be frustrating. So the top two are okay. And it's fixed form. So it's always an apple a day keeps the doctor away. You cannot change the form. You can never say an apple eaten every day keeps the doctor away. You change the proverb. It is not that. You cannot change the tense or the grammatical form of the proverb. It has to stay the same. So we call that fixed. It's fixed. And you can't, problem number three, you can't change the words. You can't say a banana a day keeps the doctor away. You change the proverb. You can't do that. So it's always an apple a day keeps the doctor away. Healthy eating will prevent sickness in the future. All right. So those are kind of the problems with Proverbs, learning Proverbs. All right, we're going to move on to some Proverbs here, and you guys are going to tell me the meaning of these Proverbs. So start chatting. So guess the proverb meaning number 1. A thing begun is half done. What does that mean? Tell me. Serenio, hello teacher. Am I late? I'm going to use a proverb. Better late than never. Sarah. Yes, Sarah, Stanley. All right, Murad Al-Habuli, when you start something seriously. Sarah Rose means if you take the first step, you've already gone half the way. Don't be afraid, just do it. You will finish it. Okay, so a thing begun is half done. So again, this is wisdom. See, man, when something just started, that means it will be done very soon. Once we think it half won. Andre, you begin to work seriously after a half of work done. You're all very close, but the exact meaning would be when someone says they're going to start. For example, I don't smoke, but if I said, oh, I need to quit smoking, someone might say a thing begun is half done, because this person knows that it's very difficult to start something. So in some situations, it's very difficult to get started, and people don't start. So for example, I want to quit smoking, and I keep saying that and saying that and saying that, but I never try. So someone might say, a thing begun is half done. So yeah, starting is very important. Just starting something is very, very important. And they want to emphasize, yeah, if you start to solve a problem already, half the work is done. So they recognize starting is difficult. Let's move on to another one. Here's another common one. Beauty is only skin deep. What does that mean? Beauty is only skin deep. Than Than. Starting is important. That's right, Than Than Nui. Carrie Page. Beauty is not important. Isn't beauty always important? Murad El Habuli. Beauty always, people see it from outside, not from the inside. Beauty, Takshina. Beauty is only for skin. We have to understand their characters. Beauty is relative. Okta, you're using relative. Wow, you must be advanced. I'm going to get some water. Aman Khan, good to see you, Robin. Aman, good to see your text, but I can't see you. I want to see you. Okta, beauty inside is more important. It's not really talking about inside. So there's other proverbs like beauty is in the eye of the beholder, and I can't think of any other beauty proverbs, but there's a lot of beauty proverbs. Beauty is only skin deep. Is emphasizing. It's emphasizing that beautiful people on the outside, might not be beautiful inside. We don't know. But you can't say, oh, she's beautiful, and think, oh, she's beautiful outside and inside. So if I said, oh, she's very beautiful, my friend might say, oh, well, be careful. You know what they say, beauty is only skin deep. So just be careful. If you're seeing a beautiful person, beauty is only skin deep. They might not be beautiful inside. So it's kind of a warning. Be careful. Romario, good to see you drinking water. You want to watch a live stream of me just drinking water? Yeah, Andre, someone shouldn't be judged by their beauty. Well, yeah, but it's more of a warning. They're beautiful, but we don't know their character yet. We don't know if it's a good character or a bad character yet. We just don't know. So beauty is only skin deep. You don't know the character yet. All right, I got to move on to number 3. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. I agree. What does it mean? Let me know. Quality of beauty. All right, Octa, do more, speak less. Yeah, basically. Yeah, action is stronger than words. You can really understand from the sentence. So don't just complain or talk about changing the world. It's very important that you act, your actions. So if you're telling people to you should recycle more, well, the best way is not to tell people they should recycle more, but you should do recycling more and they can see your actions. And when they see your actions, that has more of an impact than just telling them. So yeah, action is stronger than just talking about something. Thana, is it similar to don't judge the book by its cover? No. It's very different situations. Yeah, Andre, it's more significant what you do than what you speak. People will learn more than seeing your actions than your speaking. Sarah Rose, is it the synonym of walk the walk and talk the talk? Uh, not necessarily a synonym because that's a little different, but similar kind of idea. But they're different situations. Shut your mouth and just do it. So again, actions speak louder than words. So when someone is giving advice or scolding you or protesting, you might say to them, hey, actions speak louder than words, which would be giving them some advice to maybe do something, not talk about it. Okay. Number 4, don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't bite off more than you can chew. So as a teacher, I'm going to say this to a lot of my students, especially when they're reading books or watching movies. I might say, hey, don't bite off more than you can chew. What would that mean? Summer, don't start something you can't finish. Don't do, Carrie, don't do something too much. No. Romario, you just talked about she's very beautiful. Then I asked you, can we say she's beautifully? No. No beautifully in English. Don't do something about your beyond your ability, Octa. Not necessarily ability, but it could be. Don't think too much? No. Do not do something or be through in something you cannot complete or handle. Yeah, that's more of what it means. Means you should, Sarah Rose, means you should consider your capacity of learning. It's not just for learning. It could be used in many situations. Don't get more than you need. Not exactly. Romaria, thanks a million. Thanks a million. There's an idiom. Thanks a million. Do you in your level. Don't do something out of your range. Don't be greedy. All right. Well, don't bite off more than you can chew is usually talking about the amount of work. Okay. So don't take too much work because it could cause you stress or you might not finish it. Okay, so it's kind of talking about taking too much work or doing too much at one time. And then you would suffer something. So you would suffer stress or you wouldn't finish that job. So doing something too much. So when I'm talking about reading, I might say to my student, don't bite off more than you can chew. Because, you know, if my student picks up Harry Potter, I'm going to read this thick book of Harry Potter in English. And I'm going to say, be careful, don't bite off more than you can chew, because that's too much studying. That might take you 2 years, okay? So I might give the warning, don't bite off more than you can chew. Same with watching a movie. I'm going to watch a movie and learn English. But watching 2 hours of a movie and trying to listen or reading subtitles, that might be too much. You're going to be overwhelmed. So don't bite off more than you can chew. All right, let's move on. Number 5. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Today my mouth is drier than usual. I don't know why. Summer, you type very fast. Don't exaggerate. Octa, can you give a clue? No. It's guess. You have to guess. Sarah, don't exaggerate. You guys know how to spell exaggerate? I don't know how to spell exaggerate. That's a difficult word to spell. You must have autocorrect. Oh, Floren's here. Hello, Floren. So don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Don't brag. No. It's going to be related to exaggerate. So yeah, when a situation, you know, a mother and a son, and the son brings home the report card and she's checking the scores, A+, 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 B+, and she's, oh my God, my son is failing. He will never go to university. And then the father is going to say to the mother, don't make a mountain out of a molehill. So a molehill, of course, is something small, and the mountain is something big. So don't look at a molehill and say it's a mountain. Okay, so as you guys are saying, don't exaggerate the problem. That's all that means. Don't exaggerate a problem. And of course, don't overstate, don't overreact, like Sarah Rose says. Don't exaggerate the problem. Her son got a B plus. It's not the end of the world. It's not a big problem. He's going to go to university. Don't exaggerate the problem. All right, we're going to move on. This is another common one. The early bird catches the worm. I think most of you know this. Florence asks, are proverbs a kind of idiom? Yeah, some proverbs are idioms. They're the same family. They're like brother and sister. But proverbs are the older sister or older brother. Proverbs are older. But the difference between proverbs and the idiom, the proverb has some wisdom or some advice. Idioms are not really about wisdom or advice. The early bird catches the worm. Grace, be diligent. You need a little more information. Thana, to focus on a small thing, it makes it seem like a big thing. Well, that's, don't judge don't make a mountain out of a molehill. Okta, someone who gets up early can do something faster and save time. Be diligent to finish the work. If you want to succeed in your life, wake up early. It's not talking about waking up. This is not talking about waking up. Florin, I don't trust proverbs in general. That's interesting, Florin. Dakshina, newborn baby should get vaccine. I'll suffer. No. Jessica, the earlier you get up, the more you can do. It's not talking about, it can be talking about waking up early, but it doesn't always mean just waking up early. First come, first serve. Do something before everybody else. Yes, that's more of the Summer has it. Do something before everyone else. Diligence. Aman Khan, some books are to be tasted, others be swallowed, some few to be chewed and digested. You're quoting. All right, so the early bird catches the worm. Yeah, all that means is whatever you are doing in life, be early. Don't be late. Go. So, for example, a job interview. The early bird catches the worm. So that might mean you go to the job interview early before the other people who are going to be interviewed, and you might impress the people that are hiring you. So everyone who's early might have an advantage. Okay, so that's all that means. The early bird catches the worm. People who are early will have an advantage. They might have some extra benefit from being early. So it could be talking about waking up in the morning. The people who wake up in the morning have some advantage or benefit. But it doesn't have to be about waking up. Just being early to events or things. Okay. Thana, you read my message late, sir. Sorry, there's many messages here. And you guys, you're watching me live, but there is a delay. I think the delay is about 10 seconds. When I say something, you hear it 10 seconds later. And then you type, so I don't see your messages for about maybe 10, 15 seconds after you write them. So sorry if I delay. Okta, don't procrastinate. That's a good word, yep. Okay, I'm going to move on. This is another easy one, and of course, honesty is the best policy. Honesty is the best policy. What does that mean? Honesty is the best policy. Octa, being honest will save you. Save you from what? Generally, be honest. Don't lie. Be honest. Be honest. Yeah, so honesty is the best rule for your self rules. Honesty is the best policy. Carrie Page, I 100% agree with this. Oh, Carrie, you never tell a lie? What about a lie? White lie? Speak the truth. Andre, speak the truth. Honest, get rid of the problems. If honesty is the best policy, why sects, you mean religious groups, lie to their members? Florin, you know, everyone lies. Everyone lies. Not everyone follows this proverb, but it is good wisdom. Honesty is the best policy. All right, we got 3 more. I'm going to move on. Money doesn't grow on trees. Money doesn't grow on trees. This is something my mom would always say to me. When I want to, hey mom, I want this new toy. She would say, money doesn't grow on trees. What does that mean, guys? Andre, you should work to get money. Literally, money doesn't grow on trees. The literal meaning, yes, money doesn't grow on trees, but what's the metaphor they're trying to say? If you want to get salary money, you have to work for it. You have to work hard. Money is not everything. No, sorry. That's not the meaning, Carrie. Jessica, I don't know. Keep telling the truth no matter what. That's for honesty is the best policy. Not easy to earn money. Yeah, you guys are all, money is not happiness. No, it's not talking about happiness. So when I say to my mom, I want this new toy, and she says money doesn't grow on trees, it means, yeah, with money we have a limit. It's not unlimited. There's a limit to how much we spend. Okay, so if someone wants to buy something, well, someone in your family wants to buy something and they're asking you for money, money doesn't grow on trees. So we have to be very careful with money. We have to budget money. We have to control our money. We cannot waste our money. So someone who says money doesn't grow on trees, we cannot waste money. It's hard to get money, as all of you know. Money doesn't grow on trees. It's not easy to get money. We can't waste it. Okay, I'm going to jump ahead to number 9. 2 more here. Slow and steady wins the race. And this is another perfect one for English language learners. Slow and steady wins the race. Work hard to get what we need, opportunity cost. Money is an easy thing to have. Slow and steady wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. What does that mean? Murad El Habuli. To win, you have to think before you do it, and do it is easy peasy. It's not about thinking, but I like easy peasy. Stanley, we have to work to get money. Money can't come freely. Yeah. All right, Sarah Rose, do something step by step, but consistently, and you'll succeed. Sounds good, Sarah Rose. Do you do that, Sarah Rose? Octa, don't be in a hurry on doing something. Yeah. It's about the effort, not necessarily just about the effort. Flora, that means you need to be patient and perseverant. Octa, when you're in a hurry, you may miss the detail. Thanthan should do it regularly. Yeah, you guys get the main idea. Slow and steady wins the race. So don't hurry. Be consistent. Like you guys say, step by step. Do not rush. The people that take their time, they have patience, they're consistent, they will win the race, which means they will be more successful in the end. And I agree. And it's the same for learning English. Every day I get messages, Robin, how do I learn English, quickly, right now, fast? I need to be fluent. Next month, I need to be fluent. How do I do that? No, slow and steady wins the race. You have to be consistent and patient and slow when you're learning English. There's no fast way. So the most successful people are slow and steady. The quick people, they're too quick. They're going to give up. Wow, I like it. It's me. But always people blame me because of my silence. No. Slow and steady wins the race. I believe this one. That's why I put it here. All these proverbs are ones that I agree with. Step by step. Yes, Layla. All right. Prakar. The last one. This one is used too much. And I had a discussion about this with Florin because he lives in Romania. And Florin uses this. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. What does that mean? Explain that to me in English. And hopefully you guys have better spelling. Okta, when you're in Korea, you have to adjust with local culture. That's good advice, but I don't always do that. Follow the rules. Do what others do. Sarah Rose, I don't agree with this proverb. Me too. I don't agree always. I've been to a lot of I've traveled to a lot of countries, and I'm going to talk about travel tomorrow. But I've seen bad things in other countries, and I'm not going to do that. When in a group, do as the group does. Yeah, Florin, it doesn't have to be a country. It doesn't have to be a city. You could just be talking about a small group. This group of people, if you're in that group, maybe you should do what they do. Go to a place, behave yourself like local people. If you want to be successful, you have to grasp the way which suits you to win in this life. Follow a cultural heritage. Accept other cultures, especially if you are in their place. When you're in a country, do as they do, Layla. Catalino Garcia, hello, welcome. All right, yeah, so this is a very common one. When in Rome, do as the Romans do. Usually we're talking about a country. You visit a country, you should follow their customs, all right, or their habits. Follow what they do. Don't complain about it. Just follow their customs. And, don't be rude and say, I don't like it, I don't want to do it. Someone might say, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. So if you're in this country, perhaps you should do the same things as the country does. Okay? But again, native speakers, they don't always say the full proverb. They'll just say, when in Rome. And then you should know, oh, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. Okay, so you got to be careful with Proverbs because a lot of native speakers only say half of it. H. Farda. You have to adapt about every place you stay, like culture, norms, rules. Yes, exactly. Florin. When in English WhatsApp group, do as the members of the WhatsApp group do. 90% of the time. There's a lot of bad members. In some groups, not all groups. Try to adapt, Thana. Yeah. Yeah. Romario. Yep. Takashina. In the description below, you can see my WhatsApp groups. You just click on the link and you can join my WhatsApp groups. Or Line or Wechat, whatever you use. Check in the description. You can join. Sarah Rose, Robin, are you on Instagram? Yep. Check the description of the video. You can find in all my videos on this Learn English Live, in the description of every video, you can find out how to contact me. Susanna Sanchez, hi class teacher, I'm late, so sorry. Okay, don't worry about that. All right, so that was Proverbs. So I have some questions. What's your favorite proverb? Does any proverb confuse you? And what are some proverbs in your language? So this is the time now. Talk about your favorite proverbs or ask questions about proverbs or tell us about some proverb in your country. Let me know in the chat. I'm going to drink the water while I'm waiting for your comments. Oh. Aman Khan. But nowadays, Aman, nowadays is one word. Nowadays. But nowadays, dishonesty is the best policy. Why do you say dishonesty is most people's policy, but it's not the best policy? Stanley. It's same like make a sound like a tiger when we buy a tiger and vice versa. When we are around by sheep, we should follow the rule where we are. Oh, when in Rome. Takashina, face is the index of the mind. I've never heard that before. Is that an English one or is that from your local culture? Which country are you from, Takashina? Takshina? Murthy? Than, we no pain, no gain. Of course, that's another good one. Kevin, subtitled movie clips. Variety is the spice of life. That's another good one. But you got to be careful with that one, Kevin. Are you talking about women? India. Face is the index of the mind. Layla. 1A, what does that mean? 1A, little impatience will spoil great plans. A little impatience will spoil great plans. Florin, how we can create a proverb, Robin? Well, yeah, if you have an interesting expression, you can create a proverb. Authors create proverbs all the time when they write books. They try to create proverbs. Sometimes they can be used in regular speech. I mean, away from the book. In the Harry Potter books, J.K. Rowling, she uses a lot of great new proverbs, and then the young people start to use those proverbs. So I think she's been successful at creating new proverbs. Subtitled movie clips. Haha. Thanks for getting my joke, Kevin. Seema, in my language, what language do you speak? We say this proverb: he who eats alone chokes. He who eats alone chokes. So that kind of means the individual has no success. We should be in a group. Is that the meaning? Oh, Octa, the neighbor grass is not greener. That's my favorite. The proverb is like the grass is always greener on the other side of the fence, or something like that. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Let me get the correct. Yeah, just the grass. Yeah, the grass is always greener on the other side. Well begun is half done. Arabic. Seema speaks Arabic. I think many people here speak Arabic. Morad, is today for Proverbs only? No, in a few minutes you can ask any English question. Just we're going to finish up the Proverbs section. Florin, I don't have a favorite proverb. Well, Florin, let's make that a proverb. Proverbs are not helpful. Grace, one day it's going to be bright at the rat's hole. Oh, what does that mean, Grace? One day it's going to be bright. So I guess the rat's hole is a negative thing, and one day the light will make it positive thing. No man is an island. Yeah, Romero. No man is an island. So yeah, I think Seema, no man is an island is a similar proverb to that one. Andre, whoa. With your own samovar, a highly decorated tea urn used in Russia, you shouldn't go to Tula, city in Russia where famous samovars are made. Okay, so what's the meaning of that, Andre? What's the real meaning? What is the warning or advice? This sounds like a warning. So don't try to impress people that are better than you. Stanley, do not disturb the sleeping soldier. Oh, Layla, curiosity killed the cat. Still confused me. So to understand that, Layla, you have to understand curiosity. So maybe you're very curious about your you're very curious about, I don't know, your friend. So when your friend goes to the washroom, to the bathroom, she left her bag. So you're very curious. You want to know. So you start to look in the bag, her bag, and another friend says, "Oh, curiosity killed the cat." So, meaning, she's warning you that if you look into your friend's bag, you might be in trouble. You got to be careful. So your curiosity might cause you some trouble because your friend might come back and see you. So it's better, don't be curious. Grace, even the sky is destroyed, there are holes to escape. Is that the meaning? Oh, okay. Okay. So the whole can have a benefit one day. All right. Sky is the limit. That's a common one from Florin. Okay, I'm going to move on to any English questions. So if anybody has any English question, now is the time to ask me. I'm not going to answer every English question, but I'll answer the simple ones. If you're asking about grammar that's going to take more than 5 minutes to explain, I'm not going to do that. The best place is on the my Facebook group. If you go to a Facebook group and ask difficult questions like that, I usually research and prepare a more detailed explanation. But right now, I'm just going to answer simple English questions. Oh, my throat is very dry. Catalino Garcia, may I know what days are these English classes? I have them the same time every day, but next week will be a little different. And tomorrow I have one, so tomorrow is a very important live lesson. I recommend everyone here today, please watch tomorrow's because I have a lot of information about my future travels. I'm not going to talk about it now. Sarah Rose, in Persia we say hark. Oh, you're speaking another language, okay. The one with a wider ceiling gets more snow. Means the one with a higher position will have to do much more hard work. Yes. Florin asks, should I learn all confusing pairs of words? What confusing pairs of words? Do you have an example, Florin? Kevin, it's time to ask questions. Guys, strike while the iron is hot. That's another proverb. Dakshina, do you have any tutorial how to write business emails? Next year, I'm going to do writing. I don't have any writing lessons now, but next year I plan to do writing because I like to teach writing. So I'll do that next year. I'm sorry, Dakshina, I don't have any material now, but I'm sure there's a lot of YouTube sites with writing. If you want to wait for me, it'll be next year. Layla, how to pronounce hear and heard? Yeah, it's a little bit different. Hear and the past tense heard. Hear, heard. Hear, heard. Grace. Grace, why do I feel the more I study English, my level is decreasing? Today I was falling in this mood. Your level is not decreasing, Grace. You're starting to see the mountain. You didn't see the mountain before, but now you are seeing the mountain. And when you start to see the mountain, you have two choices. You turn around and go away, or start climbing the mountain. So, Grace, you're seeing the mountain clear, and you're feeling, oh, that's such a big mountain to climb to improve my English. No, Grace, start climbing that mountain to improve your English. Because you're not alone. I'm climbing with you. I'm going to pull you up that mountain. So don't worry about your level. It's getting better. Andre, there are too many things in that place and you go there with your own. It's strange. I'm not sure your question, Andre. Florin, like, well, good. Must have two. These are not questions. Oh, these are the pairs. Yeah, Florin, there's a lot of videos. I have videos on my Shaw English site about well and good. I'll put it in the Well and good is not so serious, but you should know the difference. I'll put it, oh, what? Here. Share. Copy. I'll paste it in the chat group. That's a video on well and good, but you should know the difference. Must and have to. Generally, must and have to are very similar. Not all the time, but of course, must is very stronger. Keep going on slowly, and one day you got it. Or never give up. Yep, I'm on. Rosa, hi. I'm late. Sorry, I was trying to connect my internet. No problem, Rosa. Welcome. Nice to see you, Rosa. We got two Rosas. Or there's another Rosa that comes here. I don't think she's here today. She was here yesterday. But anyway, Rosas. Rosa's a common name. Is that your real name, Rosa? H. Farda, do you have some advice how to speak without thinking? I mean, not translate when we want to speak up. Yeah, I have good advice, and the answer to that is you have to speak more. All right, the more you speak, the more your brain is connecting and creating or getting the language quicker. So the more you speak, the faster you'll get. That's it, man. So even if you practice speaking alone to yourself, I recommend this. You pick up a book and you just start reading the book and speaking out loud. This will also help you to speak without thinking. Your brain is very clever. It doesn't want to think in your own language. It wants to use only English. So you have to help it getting more input and creating more output. More output. You'll get faster. And also your first language. How you speak in your first language sometimes is how you speak in your second language. So H. Farda, how do you speak in your first language? Or do you speak quickly, slowly? I don't know. Sarah Rose. Robin, do we have to be in native speaking countries to become fluent in speaking like a native? If not, how can we use words like the native ones? What are your suggestions? I think I get this question every video. It's probably the top question. Well, first of all, you should know there's a difference between native speaker and fluent. These are not the same thing. All native speakers are fluent, but all fluent people might not be native speakers. So native speaker is someone born in that country and grew up in the culture, and they know 100% of the language. You can get native speaker level, but that's very, very rare. I have a good video. I'll put this video. So I put a link to another video on my other channel, Sarah. She's a teacher I've used. Sarah was born in Sweden, but she is a native speaker. And in that video, she's going to talk about how she became a native speaker. So it's an amazing story from Sarah in the link. But for you, I'm going to say, you guys have the same name, Sarah. You, Sarah, and my teacher, Sarah. Sarah, watch my teacher's video, Sarah. But for you, Sarah, I would say you don't need to be fluent unless you're going to live in an English speaking country. So if you are going to just work in business in your country, you don't need to be fluent. You just need to be advanced, upper advanced. That would be good enough. Fluent, yeah, you really have to live in another country. It is possible to be fluent in your country, but I would say not necessary. It takes a lot of lifetime of studying to become fluent. But I don't think fluency is that important, guys. You guys think, I know you guys, I want to be fluent. I must be fluent. I want to understand 100% of English. But I'm more of the opinion of, because I've traveled around the world and I've seen, advanced speakers. Good enough, good enough. You don't have to watch, you don't have to have the skill of watching a 2-hour English movie and understanding 100%. That would take so much study and you wouldn't really benefit much. So Sarah, my advice to you is just keep studying every day. Every day, do your best to improve your 4 core skills: reading, writing, listening, speaking. And if you do want to be fluent, you have to do that 4 or 5 hours every day. If you're studying 1 or 2 hours every day, that's good, and then you can become advanced. But if you want to be fluent, you got to put in more time. Sorry, I spent a lot of time on that question. I'm going to move on. Okay, Andre, that was the meaning of the proverb. There are too many things in that place. You go there with your own. It's strange. Okay. About the tea urn. Okay, I got that, Andre. Dakshina, you can ask anything. Layla, how to pronounce this? Christian. Proverbs and quotes are same things or different? They're different things. Quotes, just what someone said, but that's not a proverb. A proverb is an old saying. And a lot of proverbs come from religious books like the Bible or the Quran. They usually have a lot of proverbs. And sometimes it's quotes from the religious books. It can be, but in modern times, quotes and proverbs are a little bit different. Grace, when we put as well to the last of sentence, what does that mean? Well, you should write an example sentence. Make it easy for me, Grace. If I said I like skiing as well. This just kind of means like an also. Florin, I want to have the holy grail of English language. What is the holy grail of English language? Rosa, yes, Rosa is my real name. Okay, it's an international name. Okay. Romario, Mr., these proverbs that you have just spoken are very important in our lives. These proverbs offer advice. Yeah, all of them good advice. That's the point of proverbs, to give wisdom or warning. Summer, what does he has got it bad? Summer, I need context. So when I say I need context, I need to know other information, like what kind of situation did you see that sentence? Because that can mean many things depending on the context. So if you can tell me the context, I can help you. Seema, what makes our speaking improving? Well, to go back to the first proverb of the video, practice makes perfect. So as I said in other videos, Seema, if you or other students, if you're shy, Shyness and improving English do not go together. You cannot be shy. You have to just speak when you meet native speakers or other people who speak English. Read out loud. You have to do all these things to improve your speaking. So Seema, in the WhatsApp groups, send more voice notes. That'll help. SH Na, hello. Hello, I'm Eric. Nice to be here. Yeah, I'm Chinese. Oh, well, welcome. I don't get many Chinese students. Where do you live, Eric? Andre, I passed the test. It showed level B1. Should I stop learning and get information about English only from books, movies, like you said on a previous stream? Well, Andre, it's very important. What is your goal? So if your goal is a test, or is your goal just to improve your general English? Now, I hope your goal is just to improve your general English. So my advice to you is get away from the book learning and get more into real interaction with native speakers or people who have high-level English. Get away from the books. Okay. Sarah, thanks a ton. You're using a good idiom. Thanks a ton, Robin. You are so nice and friendly to people. Thank you, Eric. Aman Khan, just listening to Robin. Yeah, if you listen to me, this also helps everyone here. You're listening to me. Sometimes I'm using new vocabulary. I hope you're checking. If I say a word you don't know, or you can ask me here if I said a word you don't know. So if every video here is listening. Rosa, I understood Esther will come soon. Yeah, Esther, I'm going to meet Esther soon. We will do a live stream early January. Esther is the main teacher on my Shaw English Online channel. Yeah, Aman Khan, nowadays. Everyone's staring. I left it there. I left that there so everyone can see, because it's a common mistake. It's a common mistake. No problem. Nowadays. It sounds like 3 words, but it's 1 word nowadays. Oh, Susanna Sanchez. How do we say this number? I'm going to teach numbers soon, because numbers are very important. Especially when you're talking about money. You don't want to make a mistake with numbers. But the way to say that number is 100. Well, it has 2 commas. And if you see 2 commas, if you see 2, that's always million. If you see 1, that's always thousand. But there's 2. That means million. So I'm going to say 138 million. There's no thousand. So 138 million. 138,458. Or 138,458. Eric's from Singapore. Okay, cool. I've been to Singapore one time. Very developed place. Florin, what if the person promised you they become fluent in 3 months? Florin brings up a very important point, because on the internet, there's so many YouTube channels, there's so many books, there's so many websites, and of course, they all attract students promising quick, to become fluent quick. This is a lie. This is a lie. Come on. Florin, you know you can't be fluent in 3 months. If you studied all day, every day, English or any language for 3 months, you still can't be fluent. It takes time. Slow and steady wins the race. Flora, how can I prove scammer? You can't. Just my advice to everyone here, don't believe all these websites that promise you're going to be fluent in 3 months. That is a scam. They're going to take your money. Seema, when I read something and find a pillion or maybe 1.5 billion words that I don't understand. What's a pillion, Seema? Do you mean 1,000,000 or 1 billion? So when you're reading and you don't know the vocabulary and there's a lot of vocabulary, yeah, you got to read at your level. You shouldn't be reading at a very high level. Most native speakers read, their reading level is around, like, I don't have the research in front of me. I could be wrong, but I heard one day that the reading level of most Americans is around a grade 9, grade 10 level. That is actually not so high. But my students always want to read at a PhD level. You guys always want to know very high vocabulary, vocabulary that's not common. My suggestion to you, Seema, is pick up a book at a level that matches your level, start reading, and the key to improving your vocabulary is always quantity. You have to read a lot, 20, 30 minutes every day. Do that for 2 years. I promise you, you'll have no trouble with words. Okay, guys, it's 11:56 a.m. here, I think. It's almost midnight, so I'm going to finish up soon. So get any final comments in. So, Kevin, in my opinion, people shouldn't ask how to pronounce a certain word because they have easier ways of knowing how to pronounce words, such as looking them up in a dictionary. I don't care because it takes me 2 seconds to say a word, so I'm not worried about pronunciation. Questions are the easiest questions. Eric, how's my writing to you? Any mistake? Well, I'll just look at this sentence. How is my writing? You should say, how is my writing? Question mark. That's one question. Is there any mistake? Question mark. That's how I'd fix that sentence. Of course, everyone is writing in the chat room here, and you guys, your grammar and spelling is terrible. I want to cry sometimes, but I understand. Don't worry about it. Keep writing. Thanks a lot from Susanna. Welcome to Singapore. I'll be back to Singapore to have coffee with you. Sarah Rose, which do you think is more important, grammar or high vocabulary knowledge? I would just say reading. Reading will give you grammar and higher vocabulary. But if I had to choose one, I would say grammar. Dakshina, can you recommend one app to learn English well? Do you have any app to chat with native speakers? I use chat apps below, like WhatsApp. Download that app. Join my groups. That is the best way. Florin, Robert, I don't need common vocabulary, to be honest, but I need specialized vocabulary. Well, can you tell me again what special field of vocabulary you need? Layla, it's so late. You should take some rest. Yeah, I'm going to rest soon, Layla. Thanks for your concern. All right, Susanna, see you next week. Rosa, you taught numbers before in one of your videos. That is correct, but that's very old, Rosa. That's about six years ago. Thank you. Good night, teacher. Goodbye, Robin. Thank you very much. Thank you, Prakar, Summer, Tan. Seema, teacher, believe that when we study so fast, it is better than slow learning. I think this is how the brain works. Well, I would say just consistency. Decide how much you're going to study every day and then do that for years. Don't study 2 months very hard and then 6 months take a break. Just be consistent. Octa, thank you, Robin. Summer. Do you have a group on HelloTalk? Yep. And not a group, but I'll chat with you on HelloTalk. All right, Grace, thank you. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow I'll do another live stream about travel. It's a very important live stream. Thank you, Robin, for Englishing. Awesome word, Florin. Englishing. Can I use that? Because you invented that. All right, we're all finished here. All right. Whoever's still watching, thank you very much. Very interesting today to chat with you guys. You made me in a good mood and made me happy to interact with you. Tomorrow is a very special live stream, so please check it out tomorrow. And I'll probably go into the WhatsApp chat groups after this. So if you're there, I can talk to you a little bit more. But it's midnight here now, and I will go to sleep soon. Anyway, thank you for watching, everyone, and see you tomorrow.